So we will just send boldly on, and people will come in when they come in. And if you
Yep.
want to tell them what you told them at the end, that would probably be a good thing. My friends, we are welcoming you here. If you have not been with us this afternoon, we have had a wonderful start with the worship and the Bible study. People have been on a dinner break right now, and we gave them the option of coming back early because there's a wonderful program that Presbyterian Loan and Investment Program does for churches that just can do fantastic things. I will do a personal testimony because the church in Delaware, where I served, was able to put 180 solar panels on the church roof, get new members from it, and the funding for that came in the form of a low interest loan from this wonderful organization. And Claire is, I'm trying to remember, marketing vice president? Is that your?
Yep. Sales and marketing. Yep.
And we're very happy for her to share a bit about it this evening. Take it away, Claire, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's been a pleasure to be with you this afternoon. Wonderful sermon. So it's a pleasure to be with you. This is important work. I'm here to tell you a little bit about our Restoring Creation loan. I'm going to share my screen if possible, because I do have a few slides about that. Just gonna move that out of the way. Okay, so as Bruce says, I am the Vice President Sales and Marketing for the Presbyterian Investment and Loan Program. We provide all sorts of loans for our Presbyterian churches: renovation, new site purchase, refinance, and we do that with low-cost loans. And when you take a loan with our program, you're almost paying it forward, because over half the interest paid on loans used to support is used to support loans for other churches. So it's very much a you pay interest on your loans, and then we use those funds to then again support a loan to the next church. So in 2015, as a direct response to the General Assembly affirmation that we should all be in the business of caring for creation, we started our Restoring Creation loan. And this is a loan to help congregations who are engaged in projects that are making our buildings or our campuses more energy efficient. And we wanted to support this movement across our denomination with discounted interest rates, flexibility on loan terms, and hopefully encourage our congregations to renovate their buildings using energy efficient products. So of course, we didn't just do this because the General Assembly told us to. We also recognize many returns on investment when we engage in energy efficient building. Obviously, we've got the earth-friendly, energy-efficient building will result in energy savings. Investing in energy-efficient, earth-friendly practices also involves the immediate building reliability. So if you're replacing that old HVAC or boiler system with a new, more energy efficient, you're going to improve the comfort and health of your congregation and your visitors. And also, of course, a sustainable building also has a positive impact on the larger community, reducing the building's harmful effects on water, soil, and air. And this is somewhat of an interesting fact because we do look at Energy Star when we're looking at some of our products, but the Environmental Protection Agency states that if the American congregations cut our energy by 20%, that would mean that those congregations would have 630 million more a year that we could apply to other mission priorities. And as a church, wouldn't that be wonderful to be able to take that money that we're currently paying on energy to other mission priorities? So the Restore and Creation Loan, what is qualified? Well, obviously solar panels, high efficiency HVAC systems, lighting systems, energy efficient insulation, roofing systems. The pictures you see down here, that's actually Bruce's church, and those 180 solar panels. He was happy to share some pictures with me a few years ago, and they're great pictures. So I use them often in these type of presentations. So to dig a little deeper into what we're looking for in projects, when we talk about high efficiency HVAC systems, we're generally talking about Energy Star rated products that are at least 90% efficient, but we also recognize that many times when a church transfers out their HVAC system that they may have had for the last 20, 30, 40 years, it's going to be more energy efficient. So we will allow or qualify that product under our Restore and Creation Loan, excuse me. Same thing for energy efficient boilers. Lighting systems, obviously that's an easy kind of low-hanging fruit to replace lights with LED. Water systems, solar panels, we'll talk a little bit more in detail in a few minutes. But obviously if you insulate your buildings a little more, we'll help you with low-cost loans on that. Roofing systems, geothermal, and water conservation. Even little things like low flow faucets, bathroom fixtures. We recently did a Xeriscape garden system in Albuquerque. They had a dilemma that they had a broken irrigation system in a place that has no water. So instead of replacing the irrigation system, they changed their landscape, and we were able to provide them funds to do so. And again, energy efficient appliances must be Energy Star rated, but if you're looking at replacing some of those kitchen appliances, freezers, in some instances where there is washers and dryers, if you have a perhaps a need for washers and dryers, which a lot of places where they're offering home or homeless shelters, etc., will use that facility of the washers and dryers. So what are the advantages? What do we offer through the Restore and Creation Loan? Well, up to $600,000 can qualify for the Restore and Creation Loan. We set that rate at 1% below our current interest rate. So currently, that would be an interest rate of 2%. Typically, we're looking for an equity requirement of 20%, but we've lowered that for the Restore and Creation Loan to 10%. And we can also structure the loan so that you become budget neutral almost, so that if you look at what your energy savings are, we can structure payments so your energy savings are the same as what your payment is, so that you're getting the benefit of supporting an energy efficient project at the same time as it becomes budget neutral. And again, the Restore and Creation Loans do not have to stand on their own. If your church is considering a larger project, maybe renovating a sanctuary, Christian education wing, etc., and they incorporate some energy efficiency into that project, we'll extract that portion of the larger loan and ensure you get the benefit of the lower interest rate on that portion of your loan. When we talk particularly about solar purchase options, there's several different ways to look at how you can go solar. Obviously, we're not a part of all of that. But if you look at the first one, which is the power purchase option, this is really when there's no upfront costs to the church. They're basically leasing your roof. They're putting the solar panels on your roof, but you're getting the benefit. You're paying for that energy from those solar panels. And so, and over the course of the year, when you're using power at different levels, you can kind of have credits. So perhaps in the summer, you're not using as much energy, so that those credits can carry forward where you may need more energy in the winter. But this is really a budget neutral. There's no upfront cost, but there are obviously savings on energy during a power purchase. So you're just basically purchasing the power. You're not purchasing those solar panels directly. More common is the direct ownership. And this is when a church will purchase the solar panels themselves. The solar array is connected behind your electric meter. So even if you're not generating the full amount of power through solar, then there's a mix between electrical and solar. Now, there is, obviously we're nonprofit, so we can't take advantage of the solar tax benefits, but in some arrangements that we've had with churches, there's kind of almost been three parties involved. So there's been ourselves as the person that's providing the funding. There has been the solar panel installation, and then there's been a third party that's kind of taken the tax benefit, the tax credit portion, and they are the entity that has the tax credits, but then they provide some of that back to the church. So there is some ways that you can benefit from those tax credits using a third-party initiative. So we took a look at these options, and for some reason my screen has just not want to go. There we go. Okay, so if you look at these options between direct ownership and the power purchase, and this is directly off of a application we received from a church when they were considering whether they should do a power purchase or direct ownership. So the solar power panel company had suggested for their roof, it could sustain 50 panels. It was going to provide 69% of the energy uses that they would need total, which would preserve 17 acres of forest. If we look at the direct ownership, their upfront cost to get those panels was $50,000. So when you were looking at their energy savings over 25 years, it was going to be an energy savings of $156,000 and change. On the power purchase, same panels, same usage. They had no upfront costs. Their total savings over the same 25 years was $39,000. So still savings. They're still getting 69% of their energy through solar, which is good. So both of these have benefits depending on the financial impact that it would have on the congregation to put up the 50,000. So then when we factor ourselves into these models, so if the church did not have the 50,000 to put forward for the direct ownership, and we consider a loan in that situation, again, we've got the upfront cost of 50,000. the current interest rate of 2% on our Restoring Creation loan, and that would be a 10-year term. And then the annual payment on a 10-year loan for 2% would be $460,000. So again, you can see that even taking out a loan at the low interest rate of 2%, your savings would be $100,000 as compared to what we just saw here of $39,000 if you were just going to do a power purchase. So we want you just to consider, we're happy to help you walk through. We do walk through these solar power agreements with our churches. We've had quite a bit of experience over the past few years with them. So we have some things to look out for, and we can certainly look at your agreement and help you determine which is the best solution for your church. So if your church is considering any type of energy efficient solutions for your church, we welcome those conversations. The things that we mentioned there are things that we've done so far, but we know that in the future there are going to be other things that we can incorporate into our Restoring Creation loan. So far, since 2015, we've closed over 20 million loans to churches who are engaged in these Restoring Creation loans, and we're thrilled about that because that means it's $20 million that is supporting making our campuses more energy efficient. So we encourage you to contact us if your church is considering that, or even if you have questions to determine if there is something that would be qualify under our Restoring Creation loan. So I'm happy to take any questions if there is any.
Claire?
Yes.
I have found ever since the church did it in Delaware, many people have contacted us asking for background and everything. And people do this for many different reasons. I'd love to tell you it was always the biblical commandment to care for God's creation, or the moral sense of, wanting to have things good for the future. I also have found that some Presbyterians find the idea that it's cost effective and actually saves the church money to be quite an appealing argument.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for example, the price of solar panels has dropped dramatically since we did the project. Our project was a combination of putting a new roof on and the 180 solar panels, and the overall cost was close to $250,000. And we got a state grant for part of that, and we got a loan from you guys, and it paid for itself in about 10 years. And those solar panels are guaranteed for 20 years. So, it came out ahead. But now those panels are significantly less. And at the same time, your interest rate has also dropped because it's reflective of the overall U.S. economy. So,
Right.
I mean, it is a perfect time, whether it's solar panels or any of the other things that you guys will help finance. I mean, it can't get any cheaper to take a loan out and to do the work. And more times than not, it pays for itself.
Yes, I would say 9 times out of 10, when we have an energy efficient product loan coming to us, whether it's even a new HVAC system or boiler, there are energy savings that we're able to structure the loan in such a way that it's budget neutral to them, or savings. So it's somewhat of a no-brainer for me in terms of being able to lower our carbon footprint at the same time as saving on energy.
And as I said, we got new members, which my treasurer was surprised that suddenly we had another income flow that he had not anticipated with the new pledges. I think those people who are involved in Presbyterian churches in presbytery levels should be having conversations with the trustees of the presbytery because by our polity, the presbytery actually owns all this church property. And I think they could really do a great service to the local congregations and having a team look at other, a variety of possibilities. I'm biased towards the solar, but there are many other things that can be done. And, just really equip, there's a lot of small churches that just don't have the folks with the background, but, they could equip those folks and really help those churches save money and at the same time potentially attract new members too. So I think at a presbytery level, we could be working with you in partnership to really encourage this.
Yep. So I had a question come up about the investment requirement. So the investment requirement only comes into play if you are anticipating your loan is over $550,000. So for most of the Restoring Creation loans, they're within a window that's below that. So there is no investment requirement at all on any of our loans under $550,000. So just to keep that in mind, if I'm also getting a question about window replacement. If those windows are energy efficient, double pane type windows, then yes, they certainly qualify as well.
I will tell you, the energy experts will tell you that actually making sure you have the best possible furnace is more of a cost savings than frequently windows.
Yep.
There's an excellent website called the Interfaith Coalition on Energy, which has all kinds of energy related matters for congregations. Somebody asked about slate roofs and solar panels, not a problem. We bought, we didn't have a slate roof, but we were concerned about it compromising a 50-year warranty we had on a new roof. And the roofer looked at the design of the brackets for the panels, said it was no problem at all. And actually, the solar panels helps the roof by basically protecting it from the traditional rain and snow and heavy, rainfall and winds. So it prolongs the life of any kind of roof that's under it. But you do need to have a good roof because these things will last at least 20, 25 years. So you need a good roof for starters.
And we had a church in Utah that, you're talking about new members. They put their solar panels in the way their roof was in a shape of a cross. And you can see it because of the pitch of the roof when folks were driving by, and they got many younger members into the church because of that. So just something, an added benefit to energy efficiency.
Claire, they're asking about the other end of it, of individuals and churches investing in your program to be supportive of it.
Yes.
About that, please.
Sure. So the investment part of our name is that we sell term notes similar to a CD that you'd get at a local bank. Those rates are equal or more than what you would find at your local bank. Those funds are used by our program in turn then to only lend to churches for the purpose of capital projects. So if you're looking for more information, it's a good use of your funds because you know exactly where those investments are being used. They're only used to support church loans within the PCUSA. If you'd like more information on our current rates, I'm happy to share that with you, and I'll put my contact information in the chat as well.
I will tell you, Carolyn and I have invested with this wonderful program since it started. We don't have huge funds, but we just believe in it and think it's one of the ways we can support them. And in turn, we didn't lose any money. We made a little bit, but it was, and our church also invests in it because we see it as part of our mission work. So it really is something both individuals and churches, to help other churches do this kind of wonderful work. It's a wonderful way to do an investment, great or small.
Yep.
Other questions or comments in the chat or otherwise? Let's see here.
We have done loans when there are two denominations sharing a space. That loan, the lead loan would have to go to the PCUSA portion of that denomination. But if you're in a covenant relationship with that church, or you're a yoked church under the PCUSA umbrella of what a yoked church is, we are more than happy and able to lend to you.
Somebody was asking about site roof integrity. You got to talk to the roofer on that one. As far as, you know, if it's good for 25 years, I would imagine it's good for a very long time. But again, the experts can tell you on that one. I would also say that this is just a win-win for everybody. So please give it real serious consideration. I'm looking at other. It looks like we have a volunteer who can help give some expertise on solar installation. That's great. The question about presbytery, presbyteries have to approve all of these loans, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
So,
Just anytime you're encumbering your property, that's a book of order. We need to have presbytery approval.
Newcastle was actually excited about the church we were in Wilmington because they saw it as a model then for other churches to do. So usually presbyteries are quite happy about it. Other questions or comments? Claire, what did you leave out?
I hope I didn't leave out anything, but if anyone has questions after, please feel free to contact me. Again, I'll put my chat information in the chat, or you can get us at pilk.pcusa.org. And it's been a pleasure to be with you. I've signed up for all 3 weeks, so I'm looking forward to more.
Everybody, you can send her private notes in the chat now. Somebody, Joe, I think enthusiastically put your website already in the chat, but
Thank you.
A little redundancy is not a bad thing. So, you know, it would be great that they would have millions more money to invest. It would be great if they were loaning out millions more money, because we need to get our churches doing this really quick. And if you have manses, if you have any kind of housing ministries or anything else, all of those buildings are eligible for these kinds of energy efficient, you know, renewable kinds of projects. So
camps and conferences, yep. Anything that's a property held by the PCUSA, we're able to lend to.
Too much is given, much is expected. So make them all good. All right. Any other questions from the group? No, I thank you. Okay, I think we covered everything. But please feel free. I'm really appreciating your being able to be here, Claire, and we will be happy to highlight you the next 2 Sundays as far as for people to be able to reach out and contact you individually. And
thank you.
You're going